glad you guys can join us.
係啦，咁啊就好謝大家啦，收睇我哋啦，繼續嚇。
Yeah, thanks for coming back.
係啦，咁咧今晚我哋咧有呢啲嘅 hot topic 有嘢要講咯喎。
So we wanted to go back and kind of revisit this hot topic.
考下大家啦，我哋之前第一集我哋講咩嘢咧？
I want to test your memory. The very first Let's Talk, what were we talking about? Anyone?
有冇話咩嚟啊？
Anyone?
It's on the screen.
That's right.
咩嚟㗎？心啊，心啊，係啦。講呢個愛情啊，呢個 relationship 啊，係咪？
係啦，咁。
係啦，關係。
So we're talking about relationships.
係啊，係啦。咁呢個唔使講啦，一定係 hot topic 嚟啦，係咪
？So this is always a hot topic.
係啦，咁樣就咁。今次咧就係我哋嘅第二部分啦。咁啊講關於咩？就係講有咩嘅女性咧係能夠吸引男性嘅。
Yeah， 咁譯嘅英文中文原來。
係啊。
Oh, interesting. So topic we're going to talk about is what men look for in women.
係啦，咁或者講係男仔揾啲咩女仔。
Or another way to look at it simply is what kind of ladies are men truly looking for in their journey? 係咪啊？
好似好深奧咁喎。好簡單，總之想識女仔啦，係咪
？Very simple. We want to know from a guy's perspective, what do we look for in a girl?
係啊。
What kind of girls do we want to look?
喂，人之常情嚟㗎，個個都會咁啊，係咪啊？
人之常情。
人之常情啊，即係 normal 啲。
This is normal.
係啦。
This is completely normal, guys. It's part of life. So this is why we want to talk about it.
冇錯啦，所以唔使怕醜嘅，我哋一齊嚟講下呢個咁 hot 嘅 topic 啦。
So let's not be shy. We're going to go right in to talk about.
I guess we should also clarify. This is probably like what a healthy person is looking for.
That's important.
There's a lot of other types of things you could be looking for, but this would be a good guy who loves God. What he's looking for.
當然啦，其實係。
sorry， 我澄清一下就係咧，我哋今晚講嘅就係咩嘅女性能吸引男性咧？咁我哋講緊嗰類型嘅男性就係即係一個愛神嘅男性，其實係佢會俾啲咩嘅女仔吸引咧？因為其實喺呢個世界上面其實有好多嘅男性都會係睇唔同嘅嘢去揾喺女性身上嘅咁樣。係啊，
咁所以冇錯，我哋而家講緊呢個 topic 啦。咁但係我哋其實咧係喺我哋如果大家咧可以打開我哋嘅 Apps 咧，喺我哋嘅藍書嗰個 topic 入邊嘅喎。
And so guys, if you want to as well, we're actually speaking directly from the Blue Book.
係啊，睇到啦，睇到啦。
Within the, thank you so much, Richard. From the Blue Book, you will find a chapter that talks about relationships, and this is chapter 1B. Okay.
冇錯啦，係啦，咁。究竟係點樣嘅咧
？So what about this topic？
係啦，咁咁當然啦，我同阿 Richard 啦都係結咗婚嘅男人啦，係咪啊
？And so just so if no one knows who we are，
sorry 係喎，介紹下先。
Myself, his name's David.
David.
Yep.
Okay. 我睇睇阿 Kat.
And yeah, my husband David. I'm his wife, Kat.
Hi, Kat.
Hi, Janice.
And I'm Richard, and this is my wife. This is my Tai Janice.
哇，識太太。
老公 Richard， 我係佢太太 Janice。
Very good.
都係Lifehouse 啦，嘅 pastor 啦。
Yeah, so we're all part of the pastoral team here at Lifehouse Hong Kong.
係啦，咁啊其實
我哋好愛我哋嘅教會嘅。
係分享咧，我哋呢個嘅經歷咧，人生嘅旅程啦，係咪必經嘅經歷啦？
I guess we're talking about really a part of the journey of just life, really, of the opposite sex, and what do what do we do with the opposite sex?
咁尋尋覓覓當中，咁點樣去做到呢樣嘢出嚟咧？
And in our search, sometimes, when we're on the lookout, what should we be doing?
係咯。
好啊。
係啊。
And I do think that oftentimes, like, the opposite gender, like, thinks that men are looking for something different than what they actually are, and women think that there's the opposite as well. Like, genders, like, men and women think just so differently, they don't understand each other.
我覺得整體嚟講咧，其實異性上邊咧，其實大家可能對大家嘅了解唔多，可能咧女性以為男性係揾緊一樣嘢，但係偏偏咧男性原來係揾緊另外一樣嘢，而女性係唔清楚嘅喎。
Like, really? Is that important to you? Oh, okay.
佢哋就會話知道咗之後就係啊，原來對方係揾緊呢樣嘢㗎，我唔知嘅咁樣。
Right. So let's talk about that. What did you guys look for from your own journeys on, before you get.
Ooh. What's going on?
Connection problem. We'll be back soon.
Hey, we're back.
唔好意思啊，我哋翻嚟啦。
Yeah, we seem to be having some technology issues
Okay.
this week as well.
唔好意思啊，又再次發生咗呢個系統故障嘅問題。
Yeah, but we're back.
係啦，唔緊要，我哋再次繼續嘅。
So we were talking about.
係頭先你問緊咩問題？
Yeah, so I asked a question of you guys, so Richard and David, whether you guys can share, a bit about from your experience, what you looked for in that spouse before you.
係咯，咁阿 Kate 想問我哋啊，我同阿 Richard 啦，咁究竟當其時我哋係點樣去揾呢個嘅心儀嘅對象出嚟嘅咧？點樣做呢樣嘢嘅
？Who wants to start first？
可以講先嘅。
咁你講先嚇。
係咯，咁當然啦，當時我係嗰陣時已經係有返教會啦。
So I was actually attending church。
係啦，咁好得意嘅，咁我係覺得，如果我要揾呢個女朋友嘅話，係一定最好咧就係喺教會嗰度揾。
And I don't even know why, but when I was going to church, I said to myself, I want to find a partner, in church。
係啦，咁所以就係喺嗰個嘅church 嘅環境裏面去揾呢個嘅女朋友。
And so I was looking for a girlfriend in the church。
咁當然我都有自己，當其時係有自己嘅一個列表出嚟啦。
So and I have to confess, I did have a list, a 列表啊。Sounds like
好短嘅啫。
It's a very short. A very
list of quality.
Oh no, not of girls.
唔係，
唔係話女仔名嘅列表，而係佢追求嘅質素嘅女仔嘅擇偶條件。
I just needed to make sure that was clarified. It was that was not what you meant.
No, the list of qualities that he was looking for, not a list of girls. Yeah.
係啊，咁我自己啊嗰陣時係首要當然係佢係一個基督徒啦，要愛主愛神嘅一個女仔啦。
And so I was looking for a girl who loved God, and who really put Him first in her life.
係啦，不過第二點咧就係已經去到係外表啦。
But the second point was to her natural appearance, to her physical appearance.
係啦，咁第三樣嘢就其實好少嘅三幾樣嘢嘅，就係已經係講到佢會唔會同我中意做嘅嘢會係一致啦。
同你做嘢一致。
譬如我中意打機啊，當其時咁樣會同打機啊。
So whether or not she had some common like interests, and that we could do together,
係啦。咁當其時係我一個好簡單嘅一個表嚟嘅。
So I had a very simple list.
係啦，咁我唔知啊 Richard 咧，你會唔會有個咁嘅表啊？
I know Richard, did you have a list?
I mean, David and Kat knew me the whole time I was on the market.
當我咧仲係
安靜
仲係嗰啲叫做咩啊？仲係咪
睇
叫
字
鑽石王老五啊？叫做王老五嘅時候啊，
個尾都
Janice too,
尾都
obviously.
即係睇住我係單身嘅時候咧，佢哋已經識我㗎啦，David 同 Cat。
I'm very grateful to be in a church that encourages you to throw away your list of the perfect woman.
我好感恩就係咧，我喺嗰間我屬於一間我嗰間教會係教導我哋咧，就係要捨棄你原本嗰張清單啊，喺擇偶方面。
So my list of the perfect woman was Janice, and then no, just kidding. Anyway, I honestly I tried really hard to do that to not pigeonhole who God could have for me.
我
Is that the word?
嘗試
Pigeonhole?
我好努力嘗試咧，俾自己叫自己唔好咧個眼目淨係定死於喺嗰張清單裏邊去揾所謂完美嘅女性咯。係因為如果係咁樣嘅話咧，其實我就規限咗神能夠喺我生命裏邊所成就嘅事。
When I moved to Hong Kong, when I was moving, Pastor Rod asked me, "Are you open to marrying someone from Hong Kong?"
我記得我離開日本嚟香港嘅時候咧，盼樂德牧師佢問過我喎，佢話其實你而家搬去香港啦，你會唔會準備或者會唔會持一個接受嘅態度去娶一個可能係香港嘅太太咧，即係中國人咧？
香港小姐。
香港小姐 Miss Hong Kong
Miss Hong Kong.
And I was like, yeah, of course. Like, I'm not going to some country where I'm not open to marrying someone from there. Like, I'll never get married.
係我同 Pastor Rock 講，我當然會啦，唔會咁傻啊，去規限咗自己嘅選擇，因為你去嗰個地方，如果你大多數你都係會認識到當地嘅女仔多過即係自己國家嘅女仔噶嘛。咁如果唔係，我咪好傻，局限咗自己嘅選擇。
So what I'm saying is, I wasn't coming here like looking to marry an Aussie girl. I wasn't looking for an Asian girl. I wasn't looking like
for a particular nationality.
Yeah.
Right.
係啦，
or
所以
background or
我嚟到香港我就冇特定嘅一個嘅條件，就冇話一定要娶翻澳洲人或者本地人。總之我會係持開放嘅態度，容忍神去帶任何帶啱嘅人嚟我嘅生命。
And but my list was that I wanted to see she had a genuine relationship with Jesus.
咁但係咧，我其中一個好重要唔妥協嘅條件咧，就係我想睇到嗰個女仔咧，佢係同耶穌有一個真正嘅關係嘅。
Because I wanted to serve with her. I wanted to raise my kids in church with her.
因為我好想同佢一齊去侍奉神啦，同埋我好想咧喺教會裏邊咧，即係我好想我嘅子女係喺教會嘅環境底下成長嘅。
I believe my life calling is to build the church. Actually, I believe everyone's is, but I believe that's for me personally, and I want to do that with the person I'm married to.
我覺得尤其是我自己咧，我係好深信我嗰個神呼召我咧係要去建立本地教會嘅。咁而我好想咧，我嘅另一半亦都能夠同我一齊去做呢一樣嘢。
And I don't believe it's a sin to marry someone who's not a believer, but I just think it's a journey that I didn't want to go on that journey.
Right.
我唔覺得咧同非基督徒結婚咧係一個罪嚟嘅，但係我自己唔會去做呢一個嘅選擇，因為正如頭先所講啦，我係想同我另一半一齊去侍奉神，同埋我嘅子女係喺教會裏邊成長。
And so one of the big things that attracted me to Janice was honestly just seeing her worship.
其實
So when you
I
went
know
to
why she's laughing,
international,
because she hops when she worships.
oh right, on stage.
When
Yeah.
she used to lead worship.
Yeah, I look
即係有人咧就嗰時
one-legged
就唔留
worship
心咯，係咪？
So you weren't actually paying attention when you were singing those songs.
係
You
啦，
were
即係一隻
looking.
開，一隻
at a
眼
girl
閂
on
埋，一隻
stage.
眼就開住咁啦。
So you had one eye that was closed, that was worshipping. The other eye you were looking.
其實係咁嘅，因為 Richard 就話睇到我敬拜神嘅時候咧嗰種嘅投入啦，咁我就笑係因為咧嗰陣時我大敬拜嘅時候咧，我就係啦，我跳嘅時候幾得意嘅，跳得係啊，所以我笑緊自己啫係。
I was just amazed at the good-looking one-legged worship leader.
我單腳跳啊！嗰陣時係。
No, but Jan,
我唔識雙腳
honestly,
跳嘅。
no, it was actually more so when you were off platform. I think you just genuinely engrossed in worshipping Jesus. They could not be faked.
我諗Richard 嗰陣時係睇到 Janice 即係我咧，就係就算唔喺個台上面咧，我敬拜嘅時候都好投入嘅，咁佢就覺得我係一個幾真心真誠敬拜神嘅女仔啦。
So I never doubted that you loved God and that it was, you know, not just a tradition for you to go to church, but it was a life-giving thing.
所以 Richard 就嗰陣時從呢樣嘢睇到咧，就係我唔係為咗返教會而返教會，為咗一個信仰而返，而係我真係同耶穌有一個個人嘅關係咯。
And the other thing was that whenever we'd like start a new service, like you were the first person to volunteer to start our Wednesday night service.
咁同埋嗰陣時我哋教會仲係起步嘅時候啦，咁我哋都會我哋開始新嘅崇拜時間嘅時候咧，我都係第一個話俾佢聽，我想參與嘅。
And I'm like, Janice has no time. How the heck is she going to do this?
跟住佢就諗，因為嗰陣時我比較忙啦工作，跟住佢就話：咁點解佢咁忙都會願意抽時間出嚟咧？咁樣。
So I just loved seeing that heart. That was a big thing.
所以嗰陣時對我嚟講咧，呢一樣嘢咧就係好重要嘅。
Yeah, awesome.
I could go on for a long time here, so.
Yeah. 好嗱，咁我又問你問題啦。
Yeah, maybe just a question to throw in there.
OK， 咁你見到哇呢個女仔外表好好喎，好吸引我喎嚇。
And you're like, oh, okay, so I see a girl and I find her
外表啊，
you know, her outer appearance
係啦
attractive to me.
咁外表對你又重唔重要咧
Does appearance matter? Let's talk about that for a second.
To be honest 外表重唔重要咧？
即係講真啦，does it really matter?
I will give you scripture.
Okay. Oh, to back yourself up.
Yeah, you got to translate me though.
好
My love.
好
You give. I'm just saying I'll give them scripture.
Yeah.
Gonna say that in Cantonese.
佢Richard 話咧，佢
Thanks, Kat.
佢可以俾啲
sorry,
經文
sorry.
實你嘅，係啦，
對唔住，我 click 唔到，
撈唔到。
撈唔到啊！
So you know that famous verse where Samuel is choosing, you know, trying to find the next king of Israel, and he's looking at all these strong guys, going, "Oh, it's got to be this guy." And
嗰陣時咧，即係撒母耳啦，佢去揀 he's choosing the king, right?
Yeah.
Samuel. Okay, 撒母耳佢去揀選皇帝啦，係啦。
And it says, man looks at the outward appearance, but God looks at the heart.
佢嗰度講咧就係人咧係看外表嘅，但係神係看內心嘅。
So what's man looking at?
咁所以你人係望啲咩嘅咧？
So there of course appearance is important, and anyone that says that it's not doesn't understand how God made men, and also even how God made women.
Yeah.
所以其實好多人都誤解咧，即係話其實外表係唔夠內表重要嘅。咁其實呢個都唔係絕對咯。咁其實神創造男性或者神創造女性，其實佢哋都有一個本性，就係佢哋會睇人嘅外表嘅喎。
Physical attraction is important.
外表嘅吸引力咧，其實係好重要。
Of course, it's not everything.
當然啦，呢個唔係全部。
But it's actually the first thing that you encounter when you meet someone is like their appearance.
但係人嘅外表咧，俾你嘅第一個嘅感覺咧，就係好重要㗎，係啊！喺你未認識佢其他嘢之前，就係外表第一樣嘢係印象。
So I think well, guys and girls, we should know that if we want to make a good impression, well, fix the thing or do the best that you can with the first thing that people see when they meet you.
所以無論男性定女性啦，其實咧，我都鼓勵你哋咧，其實你要去將自己嘅最好去表現出嚟咯。有啲咩你要去修整啊，或者去改變啊，要令人去將自己嘅最好嘅去帶出嚟啊。
Because you might lose someone before they've got a chance to see how wonderful your personality is, or how funny you are, or how great of a person you are, you might lose them. They might already switch off because of the outside.
因為外表咧係對方睇你嘅第一樣印象啊嘛，所以如果即係喺佢未能夠去俾你即係去再進一步去睇你有幾風趣幽默或者人品有幾好之前咧，如果你個外表已經係令到佢對你冇一個興趣再了解你更多啦，咁其實咧你就錯失咗一個機會啦。
In fact, I would say that without going into details, the thing that changed me viewing Janice as a friend to having romantic interest was noticing her beauty.
咁我唔講呢啲細節啦，但係咧，我覺得有乜嘢令到我睇 Janice 嘅感覺咧，由朋友變成一個有一個咩啊，一個嗰啲叫咩啊？嗰個對象係啊，個感覺有個感覺，個分別就係喺 Janice 嘅外表嗰度嗰一刻。
So I think sometimes us men can be pretty thick. I was so thick.
有陣時我覺得男仔咧可能都幾緩慢或者幾
面皮厚啊，
幾咩話？
面皮厚
幾
stupid foolish
幾懵，好懵咯，
好懵係啊，幾懵係啦。
And sometimes we can't, you know, like I think it was literally the way you were dressed that day. It made me notice you in a different way.
就係嗰日咁啱咧，我就可能着得唔同咗，所以咧就令到Richard 咧對我咧就另眼相看。
And that started the thought, what about her?
咁所以嗰陣時喺度諗，其實佢都 OK 嘅喎。
No, I would say, why didn't that happen years before? Well, I don't know. Like it was.
咁可能就話點解隔咗咁多年你隻眼先至打開咧？咁邊個會知咧？係咪啊
But I do think it started with that.
但係咧對我嚟講個轉捩點咧就係喺外表上面嘅吸
And
引。
I think I'm very wary of this dangerous teaching in the church that tries to ignore this important part of human romantic relationships, which is physical attraction.
我覺得咧係，尤其是喺教會裏邊嘅教導咧，我都會好提醒自己去好好咁樣教出嚟嘅，即係同大家分享嘅就係話唔可以抹殺咗一個外表上嘅吸引力咯，因為呢個真係異性裏邊好自然嘅一個大家吸引大家嘅一樣嘢嚟。
And I would say, girls, you deserve a guy who's attracted to you.
咁我都想同女仔講嘅就係其實咧，你係配得咧係得到一位男性咧，佢係懂得，佢係被你吸引嘅。
You deserve a guy that wants you.
你係配得係擁有一個你嘅另一半咧，係佢會係傾慕你，佢係想擁有你。
That will cause romance to be in your marriage.
因為咧呢樣嘢會令到你嘅婚姻裏邊咧有浪漫㗎。
And without that, you're just friends.
因為如果唔係嘅話咧，缺乏咗呢種浪漫嘅元素，你哋其實只不過係朋友。
I know sometimes in Christian life we hear people say, "Oh, she's my best friend."
有陣時咧喺基督徒我哋個生命裏邊咧，我哋好容易講就佢係我嘅最好嘅知己啊。
Pretty sure more goes on than just friendship.
咁其實應該好多嘢咧係比起友誼咧係更深嘅喺婚姻裏邊。
I get it. It's a nice thing to say, but like it's got to be more than friendship.
我明白，即係咁樣講其實係好嘅講法啦。但係其實婚姻裏邊咧係超過友誼嘅關係嚟嘅，係一種。
Yeah, and I think the physical appearance, I just want to maybe just talk it about from a girl's perspective as well.
係咁想講關於咧呢個嘅外表呢樣嘢啦，咁對於女士嚟講咧
I think there's some really good practical points in the Blue Book study that talks about, you know, what's appropriate.
咁其實有啲嘢咧喺嗰本藍書裏面咧，講解得係好精簡，但係好實際嘅。
But just be yourself.
咁就首先就係你要係做翻你自己先啦。
I think the fourth point in the Blue Book is what I love is to get your security from God.
咁你去到第4點講到你點樣可以喺神當中你有呢個嘅安全感咧。
And guys will find you attractive when they see that godly confidence in you.
係啊，其實咧喺 喺當中會對方會見到個吸引力咧，就係當你喺裡面當中，你係有神嘅嗰種嘅自信心喺度。
Yeah, and you don't have to try and copy whatever you think the guys want.
係啊，咁唔使特登做到對方要係想要啲乜嘢啊。
Yeah, I think just more important thing is, the whole thing about grooming is not about for you to look a specific way. 即係你個外表唔係一定你要去，you need to look like this person or that person or this particular look.
或者要係咯，好似係一定係咁嘅外表先至係會吸引到人啦。
But the main thing is why grooming is important is because it shows the opposite gender that you care about yourself.
係咯，亦都係其實衣着咧係好緊要嘅，因為會係其實講到其實你係關注自己嘅外表嘅，你係關注嘅。
Yeah, and obviously don't be extreme and you spend hours.
當然唔係講到話要好誇張啦，係成日要匿埋喺廁所搞好耐都出唔到嚟。
But just be yourself, be natural. Have the fun personality will come through. But grooming is important. That is fundamental. That's fundamentally true.
係啊，咁係真實嘅，呢個係好現實嘅一樣嘢就係嘅外表嘅衣着咧，其實係會有一個嘅一定嘅吸引力喺度嘅。
Yeah.
係啊。
Yeah, and I would say like it's just being the best you that you can be. Like be you.
係，我覺得你係做你最好嘅自己咯，做回自己。
Because then someone who falls in love with you will fall in love with the actual you, not just the fake you that you've created that isn't up. You can't keep it up.
因而對方咧，即係佢愛上嘅係一個真正嘅你咯，而唔係一個你裝造出嚟嘅你。咁因而令到你哋對關係，如果唔係嘅話，第日就你可能要繼續去裝扮，好難去有一段真誠嘅關係喺裏邊。
Yeah. And I just want to say too, also, from a guy's perspective, and you guys can share from your angle too, about what you've seen and experienced. But I think from the girl's perspective, it's really important to make sure you're approachable and that you're not always surrounded by this solid group of people that won't let anyone talk to you.
係啦，咁同樣地啦，就係有陣時我哋嘅圈子咧，可能要係擴大佢啦，亦都係唔好將每一個門口係閂咗，係即係唔俾機會係去對方啊或者其他人啦。
Because we all know in church we're surrounded by amazing friends. Sometimes we haven't seen for ages, and we're just in this tight circle.
因為我哋可能喺教會當中，咁我哋變咗，你會覺得好似嗰個選擇範圍會唔會細咗咯？係咪？
And actually, from a guy's perspective, right, it's really hard for the guy to come into between that and break that tight circle.
係有陣時，同埋如果你個圈子太過實嘅話，根本對方咧係好難進入到你嘅圈子咯。
So create opportunities for yourself.
咁俾自己一啲嘅機會啦。同埋我覺得最緊要有樣嘢亦都好緊要，就係我覺得係可以放遠嘅眼光可以去睇一啲嘢咯，即係可以另外一方面。
Yeah, I think it's like so much of this is a balance.
我覺得好多嘢咧，其實你都係大家都係要攞翻個平衡。
You want to be looking, but you don't want to be looking so much that you're like desperate.
係你又想咧就係即係你會留意四圍嘅，但係你又唔想咧係好似好絕望咁樣，好飢餓咁樣去揾另一半喎，係啦。
But then you also want to be visible enough that someone can actually find you. You're not like hidden in a group of your peers.
Right.
但係你又咧要讓自己咧有一個即係俾人睇到你啦，就唔會成日咧匿埋喺你自己嗰班朋友裏邊，而人哋想接近你都覺得你難以接近，或者連望到你都望唔到。
Like back to what I was saying before about physical appearances, like I want a girl who's going to take care of herself, but who's not like every 2 minutes like so worried about the way that they look. It's like
我想講翻之前頭先嗰點啦，就係即係我都想 我心儀嘅對象其實就係、我想佢會好好照顧自己啦，即係個外表啦，好好打扮，但係就唔係話過分地着緊自己嘅外表，例如2分鐘就照一次鏡啊，補一次妝啊咁樣。
Right. Yeah, I mean that's what David was saying, was starting to say, but I forgot to translate. I didn't know how to translate it, but it's exactly the same point. Yeah.
係啊，就喺呢個 point 啦，係啦。
Yeah, that is the point. Yeah.
That's great.
And I would say also, I lost 18 kilos over the last year and a half.
咁而我都想講，舊年咁依年幾嚟咧，我減咗18K 嘅。
Through intentional effort, it wasn't easy, but I'm glad that I did.
咁咧，我係一啲都唔容易咧，個過程我真係好努力去揾一啲嘅方法，去到令到自己可以睇落去更健康啦，更有個好嘅體重嘅標準。
And I think sometimes that would help people.
而我覺得喺自己外表管理上面喺呢方面咧，依個係可以幫到其他某啲朋友嘅。
It's not everything, but it's something.
係啦，體重管理唔係所有嘅嘢，但係佢可以幫到你咯。
I don't know if I can be that blunt.
But that is a true and very real, I think, advice. I mean, it's very practical.
好實際嘅，可以其實大家做得到嘅一個嘅行動嚟嘅。
Yeah, and I think, just be the best version, the best, healthiest version of yourself.
就做好自己個本分啦，就係最好嘅你自己嘅係你自己。
Yeah.
係咯。
Because I think this is the thing, right? When you're young and you're single, but you don't look, the best that you can look.
係咯，咁因為你仲青春年青嘅時候，其實係如果你冇係一個最好嘅你自己嘅狀態去表現出嚟嘅時候咧
，just put 20 years on, of your age.
如果隔咗20年後啊。
And honestly speaking, think about how do you want to look the best? I mean, do you want to look like that, or do you want to look the best that you can look?
係啦，定一話係想你之前已經做好自己啦，定一話等到20年後先去開始去做好自己咧。其實有陣時可能已經係去到一個即係年紀已經嗰個已經係去到一個比較蝕底㗎啦。係啦，咁其實我都想喺教會啦，咁鼓勵下大家嘅一啲嘅男士們啦。
I just want to encourage some of the guys out there, our church are listening.
係啦，我覺得係其實係身為一個男士係要有頭先講到自信啦嚇，呢個好緊要啦，係咪
？We talked about confidence, right? And as guys.
係啦，咁我覺得一個嘅有一樣嘢好緊要，我自己覺得就係勇氣。
And I think there's one thing that's really important for a guy is to have courage.
係啦，係我意思係勇氣。如果你真係有個心儀對象，或者唔係有陣時有啲朋友會覺得要等到嗰一樣嘢發生或者有機會先至去進行啊去做。
And some of friends of mine and people I know, they're waiting for that perfect chance, that perfect moment, that perfect opportunity. Yeah.
係啦，咁其實可以勇氣係去嘗試係去試一啲嘢啦。
But just be bold, and have courage to ask the girl out that that you've been thinking about.
係啦，咁我哋其實我哋都有介紹一個以前我哋有個 coffee time 嘅一個嘅
we'll do that a bit later.
係啦，咁所以其實好簡單，冇乜嘢嘅，只不過可能係 ask for 一個 coffee time 啫嘛。
Yeah, and we talk about coffee time, in our church, which is really just a coffee.
係咯，即係完全冇一個承諾或者係做啲乜嘢，係認識對方啫。
It's just a chance to get to know someone a bit more up close and personal. There's no strings attached, no obligation. It's just a fun atmosphere for people to get to know each other.
係，但係就需要嗰份嘅勇氣去做呢樣嘢。
But to go there, it requires courage.
係，咁咪可以嘗試下啦。
Yeah.
加啲勇氣落去。
Yeah, add some courage salt in that.
我當其時都係 有一刻我就突然間俾咗自己勇氣係去ask Cat 係去飲嘢啦。
And your life
Right.
is changed. What's changed
At the,
forever.
rewinding many years ago, David was just saying that he also had that. It was that moment of courage where he asked me out and for a coffee. Yeah.
Wow.
And the good thing is, you only need one moment of courage, and it can define your whole future. Like you don't even have to be courageous 24/7. It's just like for like 3 minutes.
好處就係咧，你嗰種勇氣咧，一剎那就夠用噶啦喎，就你唔需要話24小時都有嗰份持續嘅勇氣，你只需要 maybe 3分鐘嘅勇氣去問個女仔，而你成個人生嗰個嘅將來咧，都會因為呢3分鐘嘅勇氣而改寫。
Yeah, that's true.
女仔都係啦，係咯。哦，sorry， 好快，女仔都係啦。咁男仔問你 ask 你去飲咖啡嘅時候，咁其實你都試下啦。好似頭先 Cat 同 David 講，即係飲杯咖啡啫，唔係結婚。
Yeah. And girls, the same thing as when guys ask you out for coffee. Be courageous as well, and take that opportunity. And it's not marriage; it's just a coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
飲杯嘢傾下偈。
Can I just say on that before we finish? I know we're kind of over, but like I think sometimes I've seen in church circles, girls have this idea of this perfect man, and then when a normal guy comes up and asks them to coffee, they're like,
right.
like he's not like David, but it's like David's been married for how many years, and like it's taken time for him to grow into the man that he is. Like, don't judge that guy at that standard.
我亦都好快講一講，知道冇乜時間。咁咧，譬如話，即係有啲女仔可能咧，佢有個好心儀嘅，即係白馬王子般嘅，即係嘅理想對象喺佢心目中啦。但係當一個正常嘅男仔去到佢面前，即係約佢飲咖啡咁樣啦，跟住咧嗰個女仔就會譬如話將呢個普通嘅男仔同 David 比喎，但係其實 David 佢係用咗佢都係應該話。咩話？即係 David 其實佢都係有佢嘅成長嘅階段㗎嘛，好多年嘅階段咁先至會變成今日嘅完美嘅佢㗎嘛，咁都唔係一朝一夕㗎嘛，所以其實係咯，我哋要睇到嗰個男仔，其實睇到佢嘅 potential 咯，嗬，要 look at the potential of the guy and not
the。Like, don't look at someone who's been married for 20 years and say, I want a husband like that.
係啦，即係唔好攞人哋結咗婚20年嗰啲完美嘅老公嚟比，因為其實每個人都需要時間去成長啦。係。
Like, give the guy a shot. Have a coffee.
俾個機會佢飲杯咖啡咯。
It's just a coffee.
飲杯咖啡啫嘛。
Anyway.
又唔使你俾錢。
Quite fun to chat. I think we can talk for hours.
冇錯啊，係咪好有趣嘅 topic 咧？我哋講幾都講唔完啊，可以。
And I will say, I heard a pastor say recently that most people only get a few shots in life. Like they may only be asked out by 2 people.
我咧聽過近來咧，聽過個牧師講咧，就係話正常普通人平均性嚟講，佢可能會平均被1個男仔、2個男仔或者5個男仔邀請佢去約會嘅。咁所以其實大家唔好錯失每一個機會咯，唔好輕易錯失。
I think that's true.
That's a really good reminder, hey.
Like you say no, and it will. Who's guaranteeing another chance? Like, let's at least give this person a shot.
如果你一口就拒絕咗嘅，咁其實你唔知道下個機會係幾時嚟咯。咁不如就俾對方一個機會啊！咁飲杯嘢試一試啱唔啱自己。
Unless he's just like creeping you out, like don't say yes to that guy.
咁當然啦，除非一啲好極端嘅例子，就係如果個男仔真係嚇親你嘅，或者真係唔係你想要嘅嗰類型嘅，咁當然你有權去拒絕啦。
Yeah, that's really good.
Anyway.
Wow. Well, I think timing-wise, we probably should end it there, hey?
係啊。
Yeah, let's pray.
太興奮啦，講到過晒時啦。
Yeah. Cool. Well, who wants to pray tonight?
邊個想禱告咧？今晚
Anybody?
係咯。
I can pray.
Awesome.
麻煩晒 Rich。
OK 好啊。
All right, Lord,
神
thank
啊
you for the miracle of
感
relationships.
謝你啊，即係關係上面咧係你係賜奇蹟嘅
And
神啦。
I honestly pray over our church, Lifehouse, that
Mm.
we would have so many happy marriages come out of our
我
church.
真係真心咁去禱告，就係我哋可以見到生命堂教會裏邊咧有好多健康同埋美滿嘅婚姻。
It would be one of the great legacies of our church here in Hong Kong.
呢個咧
Yeah.
就將會係我哋香港教會嘅一個好嘅延續啊，即係繼續落去。
And I pray, God, that we would just be looking to you and growing ourselves in our seasons of singleness.
神啊，即係喺對於嗰啲仲係單身嘅朋友啦，即係願佢哋嘅眼目都係定睛於你，同埋佢哋都會去趁呢個機會去好好咁樣去將自己嘅最好帶出嚟。
And doing everything in the natural that we can to set ourselves up for success, but also believing for you to bring
Yeah.
the right person in the right way.
佢哋都可以咧，即係喺佢哋即係自然能力上面能夠做到嘅，將自己完善到最好啦。餘下嘅就願你係奇蹟地將嗰一位另一半係帶進佢哋嘅生命。
Amen.
阿門。
Amen.
Very good。
Awesome.
好啊，
好。
係咪好好玩呢？
好好
Yeah.
玩。
So much fun.
係啊，咁我哋嚟緊咧都會仲有好多呢啲唔同嘅咁 hot topic 俾大家㗎。
So coming up, we're going to continue on these hot topics. So stay tuned, guys.
Yes.
所以咧記得 like 我哋啦，都要繼續 follow 我哋啦。
So remember to like, share, follow.
係啦，咁就好多好嘅分享啦。咁每個星期咧係同大家係分享嘅。
Yeah, looking forward to kind of sharing more candid thoughts with everyone. But meantime,
係啦，
good night.
Good night。
See you
多謝大
guys.
家，
Good night。
Good
拜
night.
拜。